Guys, if in doubt, zoom out. I love to look at the S&P. I love to zoom out because when you look at it, it's just like we're constantly like, are we going up? Are we going down? Are we going up? We're going down. But, you know, when you zoom out and look out, we had a sell signal from here, from the SMC bar. We literally nuked to the ground. We came down. The S&P came down like 25%. They nearly had to close the stock market. We bought the dip here, and now we've been into a rally, almost back to all-time highs. And I'm going to talk about where I think the S&P is going to go next. Why am I looking at the S&P? Well, guys, if the S&P pumps, Bitcoin pumps, and if the S&P dumps, Bitcoin dumps. Regardless of how many people say Bitcoin is the new gold, until proven otherwise, it still moves with tech stocks. Bitcoin crashed here as the S&P did crash here. Bitcoin pumped here as the S&P pumped here. And if the S&P crashes back down here and Bitcoin pumps, then okay, we can finally say, you know, it's separated from TradFi, it's separated from tech stocks. So where do we go from here? Now, this has been a crazy play, and you know, we've really nailed this. If we look at this video here, this is where we were talking about taking profits. You see, as we were pushing up to this resistance here around the 6,100 level, we were talking about potentially seeing history repeat and coming back down to this support level here for a buy entry. So just have a quick listen to this.
Right, we've had a run. How similar does it look? We've had a run. We're waiting for this downtrend. We're literally playing a game of chicken right now, and those who are left holding the bag are the ones that end up losing in the long run. Okay, so we have had a massive rally. We have had a massive run. Nvidia has done like a 15x. It's a fucking stock, a blue chip stock. It's moved like an absolute crypto altcoin, and people have made a lot of money. And those people will, a lot of them will hold. And look, Nvidia could just keep going up over time, right? It could just keep going up over time. We're swing trading, not so much with altcoins, but it's absolutely normal for us to come back and have a retest. And this monthly is going to be a very key level. See, the SMC monthly is creeping up like this. Imagine we have all of the signs, man. Imagine we have all of the signs, because we have our RSI was oversold, green bottoms indicator popped off, and we came down to the SMC weekly, right? We've got, not only that, we've got our on-chain data. We've literally got all of the signals that we need to actually calculate when this market is going to find support, when this market is going to find a floor. And that's where you make generational wealth. You don't make generational wealth buying up here, right? You don't make generational wealth buying up here. It's incredibly risky. You're buying up here and people have already made a 2, 4, 5, 6x, okay, 10x, 20x. This is why it's incredibly risky. And for me, this is why I sold 75% of my portfolio. I know at some point or another, shit's gonna go south, right? It's not a never-ending party where everyone just wins and everyone gets money. Actually, most people end up losing. So I want to make sure that when we do get all of these signals, RSI oversold, green indicator, monthly support, when we do get all these signals, I'm ready to go balls deep into the market. Okay, I'm ready to ape literally shitloads of money back into the market.
Okay, so you get the point, guys. The S&P is so valuable. We had a clear sell signal up here. We lost support. I said as soon as we lose this blue line, it's likely we're going to head to the downside. And then it was just down, only, right, for a short amount of time. And then we started to reverse. And we pretty much nailed it. The SMC bot on the daily is always going to be a little bit lagging when you have these sharp spikes to the downside and upside. And it didn't actually kick in a buy signal till up here. But we did take buys down here because the buy pressure was so high, right? And the market was so oversold. It was highly likely we were going to get a bounce. The fear and greed reached like extreme fear. I think it was the lowest it had ever been for many years, and everyone was losing their mind on socials. That's often the time to buy the dip and to swoop in. And we've had this massive move to the upside, and we don't seem to have had that fear come back as of yet, but we are getting close to the all-time highs, and it seems very strange to be close to all-time highs given that we have wars going on, China is melting. Ukraine and Russia are still going at it. We now have Iran and Israel still going at it. Inflation is potentially, about to hit us. Jerome Powell came out and said that they're expecting inflation to increase in the next few months, and they're going to be, not making any decisions until they see the rest of the data. Elon Musk come out and said that there's going to be a recession at the end of the year. It just feels a little bit overbought for the macro that we're in right now, and we have been forming this rising wedge on the S&P. So we've been forming this rising wedge. It's a small wedge, but they often do break to the downside. And we have a lot of confluence for this move, right? Because we have the 200-day moving average is creeping up here. So we have this 200-day moving average. We have the SMC daily. If you took that buy signal as well, congrats, guys, because it just rocketed straight after that. We have the SMC daily here creeping up as well. And then we have the bottom of the wedge, right? So sometimes these rising wedges, the price actually reverts back to the bottom of the wedge, which is going to line up with our 200-day. It's going to line up with our daily support here. Am I saying we're going to absolutely nuke down like this? No, we'll probably see, some trends. But nobody really knows if we're going to continue to come to the downside or we're going to actually recover here and trying to push into all-time highs. I would say that it's going to be very data dependent, and personally I'd rather wait and see how the data comes out. Just like Powell says, if everyone is expecting inflation to hit in the next few months, we also expect BTC to come to the end of its bull market around this sort of period. I have it down as the bear market for crypto starting around June to October. I have the start down, so I've been sitting here patiently waiting and taking profits all the way up. I don't really want to be taking too many risks right now, so I am sort of trading and sitting in cash. I have already taken profits from the buys that we bought down here, so when we bought some altcoins and stuff down here. I think altcoins actually were down so much here, so we didn't just make money from selling and selling our portfolio, but altcoins I think crashed 60, 70, 80% from these levels up here, and then we managed to buy the dip and take some profits on those as well. So I'm just swing trading, guys. Am I going to get it right every time? Absolutely not. Here was a lot easier to sell and wait, and here was a lot easier to buy and wait. Right now, I would lean to the downside, but it's not as strong a play as this was, right? This was extreme fear, very easy buy, massive buy pressure. Everyone was scared. Everyone was here frothing at the mouth, higher. We're breaking into all-time highs, and stocks were at all-time highs. Now, not so much, because we have a very shaky macro. Gold is pushing up like a recession is coming. Yields are pushing up like a recession is coming. And lots of credit card debt is getting out of control, and debt is rising. The US is still going to struggle with its debt to refinance. The macro is not so squeaky clean right now, and the S&P kind of looks like it looks like the start of another bull run. So yeah, I'm a little bit cautious. Do I want to be too bearish? No, because look, the stock market just goes up over time, right? It's not going to go down forever, and it's just trying to leverage and capitalize on those points where we think the market is going to have a strong bounce. So for now, for the bulls, for those who are bullish, when you move up this much, it's often very hard to come all the way back down like this, because you now have so many more support levels, right? You've got the 200-day, you've got the SMC daily, you've got the 50-day, then you've got previous support down here. It does become very, very hard to come all the way back down. So we're talking about stocks here, right? We're not talking about crypto. Last time, it did take 12 months. So from the actual break of this trend line here, it did take 12 months of downside before we actually found a floor. So, it's possible that we just trend here sideways for a long time. And I don't think a lot of people are sort of anticipating that. It could be very, very choppy. I'm not expecting us to go and push into this brand new bull run and start making new highs just yet. I do think we are going to have some sort of a cool down here. We don't have to come down and do this. But we could just range here, chopping and shaking out, depending on what happens with the macro and inflation, right? I think those might dictate the market, but the data has not been so bad. Jobless claims have not been so bad, and earnings have not been so bad. So I think if the data potentially starts to roll out and starts to come out negative, we might see some sort of reversal there. But That's it for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you don't want to miss out on any of my Twitter posts, head over there and you can see here my Patreon. So that's how you can get involved with us. If you want to get this SMC bot, it comes free with the Patreon, and you can get these buy and sell signals inside your Discords, your trading views as well. And yeah, very, very useful tool. You can change it to the 4 hourly, the daily, the weekly, whatever time frame you want to look at. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the video so you don't miss out on any of these updates and notifications. Until then, I will catch you in the next one.